Hi everybody, AJ here from herfitnesssolutions.com. Yesterday I had a short video about just choosing goals for the new year. It was more of a lifestyle goal, or just how to approach your goals so they're realistic and that you don't set yourself up for failure. And then I was out walking this morning, yes, in the winter, in the cold, because I promised myself I would walk. I miss walking because I do it all the time in the summer. Anyway, so there was something I was thinking about, and I wanted to address it before the new year because it's probably the question or the misconception that I have to deal with all the time. I get emails all the time that are about this, and then just talking to people in general. This is something that people walk around and I don't think they understand. So I want to talk about the difference between what you eat, so your food choices, and how much you eat. And that you really need to learn to separate these two principles. And I'm going to explain why. And it's on my website, actually. Under nutrition, there are two separate areas. And I thought it was one of the most important things to address because, like I said, this is something that comes up multiple times every day. So what do you choose to eat? So the food types are based on a variety of different things. It could be your budget. It could be where you live, religious views, food preferences, convenience, health issues. That's the big one. And how much you eat varies based on what your goals are with your body composition, okay? So if you want to put on some muscle, you're going to have to eat more food than you need to maintain your body as it is currently because you need to build more muscle mass, okay? If you were going to build a house and add an addition to it, you would have to buy more material, right? Okay. And then there's maintenance. And then if you wanted to lean out, lose fat, then you're going to be eating less. You'd be at a caloric deficit, okay? So let's make a definition here. The foods you eat are your style of eating, okay? That's what I like to call that. It's what's your eating style. And then how much you eat is whether you're at a deficit or not. So if it's a diet, you're at a deficit, okay? So that's why I don't like things like people saying, oh, I'm on a paleo diet. It means that, to me, that means like you're at a caloric restriction and you're eating paleo, which isn't necessarily always the case. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? And I'll just read it. It's an email, very similar to, something I get all the time. I'm trying to decide if I should go gluten-free. I have one girlfriend who lost 15 pounds when she went gluten-free, yet another friend of mine hasn't lost any weight at all. In fact, I think she's gained some weight, she just won't admit it. What gives? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it goes on. Okay. So, yes, there might be some benefits. I'm not going to get into all the details about, going gluten-free, even if you're not celiac or if you don't have an intolerance. That's for a different video blog. If you're choosing to go gluten-free, the reason should be to improve health markers like inflammation and gut health and those sort of things. So your friend that lost weight when she went gluten-free, she likely eliminated things in her diet like pasta, pastries, granola bars, cereal, bread. Okay? By eliminating those gluten products, she also changed how much she was eating. There was a reduction in how many calories she was intaking every day. So that's probably where she got a lot of her weight loss results from. Trust me, she probably had some benefits as far as health going gluten-free, but you got to separate the two. Because your other friend who went gluten-free, she might have cut out all those things, but then just found gluten-free replacement products, which if you look at those products, they are super calorie dense and they're really high carbohydrate too. So she didn't, even though she changed what she ate, she didn't change overall how much she ate. And maybe because she was so blinded by the fact that she thought gluten-free was the way to lose weight, she probably was eating more with these replacement products because she thought that as long as it doesn't have gluten, I'm going to lose weight. So now you can kind of see maybe where there's the difference. The other thing I want to talk about is probably the most common one is something like this. I went paleo, or started a paleo diet. I call it way of eating. And I got really great results for 2 months. And then, after 2 months, everything just plateaued. Maybe paleo is just not for me. I'm trying to decide what to do next. So a lot of these people that do this, yes, they will get a benefit right away because they're eliminating all the shit food they're eating, all the packaged food, all the refined carbohydrates and sugar and other chemicals that they put in food. So yes, you'll get a benefit. And so for some people, it might last more than 60 days. And what they're looking at here is they're looking at strictly the fat loss. Are they looking at all their other health markers that have improved since they eliminated the processed food and started eating more nutrients-dense, real foods? And maybe they're eating organic, maybe they weren't. I don't know in this scenario. But just because your weight loss plateaued, it doesn't mean that the paleo style of eating is not working for you anymore and you're going to start searching for something new. Like I've seen people go from paleo and then they plateau and then they're like, I'm going to go vegan. I'm like, what on earth? Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to adopt these things gradually. Okay, like you go paleo, you start making better food choices as far as, avoiding refined carbohydrates and sugar and food additives. And then maybe, 60, 90 days down the road, you start to plateau. Okay, don't scrap that way of eating. There's probably been a ton of benefits for you, so why would you get rid of it? Now all you have to do is start tweaking things. It's more of how much you eat, right? So you might start looking at things like your macronutrients and maybe the timing of your macronutrients. That might be the next thing that you address. And then you might use that for a while and get a good result, and then that might plateau. And then you might really start dialing in your calories based on whatever your short-term goal is. And that's okay to do it that way. I mean, if you don't have a coach and you're not prepping for a contest, there's no harm in taking these steps and seeing the benefits from tweaking these little things down the road. It might help you really understand how your body reacts to certain things and the benefit that you get from changing your macros a little bit or just your caloric intake. So I guess the point I really want to get across before I go on too long here is just when you're choosing what you eat, really choose those things for the right reasons, okay? Make sure that those reasons are based on something that's realistic, that you can sustain, and something that's going to improve your health overall. And yes, fat loss, if you're not, if you're not obese, so reducing the fat composition in your body, yes, that has a health benefit too, but kind of keep that separate. Choose the healthy foods that are nutrient dense, and then you're going to play with how much you eat based on your goals. And I just can't stress this enough because this is, I just hear this every day. Like even the people that don't talk to me personally about it, I hear it in the change room all the time. It's like women are like, oh yeah, I'm going to try this raw food diet. And next thing you know, you've tried at least one different thing every year. I'd say it's probably more than that for a lot of people. You've never really nailed down what works for you as far as improving your health because you're just chasing this fat loss goal. You're not really addressing how much you're eating. You're just kind of following these styles and hoping that the initial change in how much you're eating, whether it's masked by the style you're eating, you're focusing on that for your result. And it's blurred lines, really. I mean, if you just keep on chasing these things and don't understand what it is you're trying to accomplish and why, you're probably not going to accomplish much. I'll be honest with you. You're just going to keep chasing your tail, and it gets super frustrating. And that's where people, they just kind of get to the end of the rope and they're like, you know what? I've tried everything and nothing works, and I just give up. And this is the way it's going to be, and I just have to accept that. And that makes me sad because that's really not the case. So it's all just about really understanding your choices. And sometimes that takes a little bit of education. And I think that's a good thing because I think people spend more time shopping for snow tires than they do deciding on how they're going to approach their nutrition. And anyway, I don't know if I'm going to see you guys before Christmas because I got this crazy schedule. So if I don't, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, but I'll definitely be in touch before the new year. Hopefully this little tip today helped you decide with some of your choices for your goals in January. I'll see you guys later.